And there's nothing wrong with that. I remember hearing this lady say this recently. She was around me and a few other guys or whatever. She was like, "Yeah, I feel safe," and that's how it is. But you got certain proud women though. They'll be like, "I don't need no man around." All right, you keep that mentality. This is in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 2. It says, but yeah, let me pull it up this way so I can get the whole visual. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, princes shall rule in judgment." You don't see nothing about no queen in there or no fucking goddess. Ain't none of that in there. Verse 2 it says, "And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and the cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." So you have to think about how deep that is, because when you in a dry ass area, ain't no water around, it's hot as hell outside, and you come across some water, that's the best fucking thing at that time. That's how men gonna be looked at. So you men to be dealing with stuff, going through shit with your woman. They don't even trip, man. Order gonna be restored. Stuff shifting as we speak. And it says, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Or you in a hot ass place, the sun, it's 120 degrees outside, 110 degrees or whatever. It's hot as hell, sun beating down on you, sweat. And you see this big ass rock, you go stand up under there, it's nice and cool, you got a little breeze. That's how a man gonna be. Now it says, in verse 3 it says, "And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken." It says, "The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerer shall be ready to speak plainly." Because I was dealing with something recently. Basically, somebody was talking shit. I already know when the shit hit the fan, they won't have that same mentality. These people only be like that because they have a little comfort and some type of false safety, some false security. But once shit really gets serious though, that's why I say this, the heart also the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. They ain't gonna be talking shit, they gonna be speaking plain, trying to ask questions and understand and see what's really going on. Let me see what else I want to go into if I want to read on some more. Yep, let me read on some more. "The vile person shall be no more called liberal." Because Esau, you look at them, they call the liberals, the Republicans, the Democrats and shit. But they vile, they the most vile beasts on the earth, as it is written. It says, "No, the churl said to be bountiful." It says, "For the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause a drink of the thirsty to fail." And that's what's gonna happen, man. And the shit that I've been reading up on and looking at, like with the CDC and different little agencies, the WHO and all that, hey, they can really cause the drink of the thirsty to fail for real. You gotta think about how serious that is, how valuable water is. Just some everyday necessities that you use on the norm. You don't have access to it. And ultimately, if the Most High not lining it up so you can really have access to it in a certain abundance, you fucked out here. Let me read on some more. It says, "The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak of right." Because you got people that's actually in need. And you can tell this woman, she have degrees and stuff. And she definitely attractive. You know, don't get it twisted, man. Definitely love dark-skinned women. All that man, black men hate the black women shit. Like, no. We love the sisters. It's just the actions that the men don't love. It's a big difference. She had these degrees with this background and stuff, but she's still in need. Who's she in need from? A man. Esau, ultimately. Need the funds, the financial aid and assistance and all that. You gotta go to a man for that still. So no matter how they look at it, like I was making a joke, but I was being serious about it. I was talking to somebody when a woman have a domestic dispute, who they call policeman. When a fire break out, who they call a fireman. When they need repairs, who they call repairmen. Who delivering their mail, which they don't mix that shit up now too. But who mainly deliver the mail? The mailman. So hey, either way it goes. And certain people don't like that shit, but it is what it is. This is the facts, man. It's just the truth. And they don't like it. They don't get mad at me. Get mad at the Most High. He set it up like that. I ain't set it up like that. I read on some more. It says, but in verse 8, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. And that's the mind frame certain men gonna be in a righteous manner. A liberal mind. Liberating. Not trying to finesse people and get over and do devious shit just to get by. Actually carrying yourself in a certain manner. And people gonna see that. Definitely women gonna see that because they like power and they like shit to be right. Just Esau got them twisted up in the mind to make them think stuff is cool the way it is and how it's going. But now they slowly pulling them goodies away. I'm gonna let this I'm gonna pull a few more precepts and I'm gonna end this out. I don't want to stretch this out too long.
That has not really been examined, like you said, the elderly caretakers, that is a big one, especially during this pandemic. Now, because of this pandemic, there's also an alarming spike in domestic violence cases being reported. Women are primarily the victims. Do you think this speaks more broadly to the importance of mental health in such a critical time and the necessity for more resources?
Absolutely. And so here's the thing. In imagining and saying that our task is to come up with new solutions, we have to literally think as far outside the box as possible. And so with mental health issues or even women who are looking to report the issues that they're suffering at the hands.
And like I said, who they got to report it to? Oh, man.
A loved one in your home. And if you've ever been to the doctor before and your doctor said to you, do you feel safe? Well, typically that's something that only a doctor would ask, but we may be in a place in time where more than the doctor is asking, are you safe? There was actually a recent invention by a young lady named Christina Pascoe, and she created an online shopping store which allows women to come in and secretly report domestic violence. And on its face, it looks like just a website for shopping. And so we've got to come up with solutions from the top down, but the community as well, to basically be a groundswell of support for women in these circumstances.
Wow, that is certainly innovative. So that way the women that log on, it looks like they're going to a shopping website. That is fascinating. Brilliant. And lastly, according to...
Department have to get involved, when you're shopping for your groceries, and the grocery store may say, do you feel safe when we come to deliver? Do you feel safe?
That is really thinking outside of the box, for sure. And lastly, Reese, according to the UN report, this pandemic has set the women's movement...
And look, backing up what I was saying, you can ask somebody that, even if you try to do it on the low, might slide a note or something like that. Because of them gifts, like the scripture say, a gift destroys the heart. They're going to go right back to that shit.
Back several decades, whether it's income inequality or just how women are viewed in society, what can be done to speed up the recovery effort to get women back to where we need to be on this professional front?
I'm going to just pause that right there because, they about to start going, this is some other shit. So the Most High, he going to set it up. That's what's going to happen ultimately. I'm going to just read this and then I'm going to grab one more book, maybe out of the book of Revelation after this, and then I'll just end this up. It's still in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32. And we start at verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years you shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. And you see that happening right now. It says, tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses and houses of joy in a joyous city. And a lot of this joy over here, you got a lot of fake joy going on, so that's why people be on these damn drugs. But once that shit run out, then the reality really sink in. Verse 14 it said, because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the cities shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks, till the Spirit be poured upon us from upon high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. The judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and the righteous remain in a fruitful field, and the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever. And this is going to happen. The Most High going to put this in order. But that judgment going to fall out first. Then stuff going to go in order. God says, and my people shall dwell in the peaceful habitation, and in sure dwellings, and in quiet resting places, when it shall hail, coming down in the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. Now, let me pull this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. Then I go to the book of Revelation. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. And that's what you see happen. You got certain men actually got they shit together, like tight. Business raw, business moving, flourishing. Even during this pandemic. Hey, shit been straight for some men. They've been chilling, they had substance, raiment, shelter, all that stuff. And simultaneously, you see the Most High doing this as well. It's in the book of Isaiah chapter 13, and I'm going to jump back at verse 11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And see, that's why wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of that time. Because when all this stuff happening, people are going to be, oh, why all this stuff happening? Why this going down? Why all these earthquakes happening? Why all these storms happening? Why all these viruses breaking out? Why all these apparitions popping up now? Why all these chariots happening? Hey, if they've been paying attention, all the information right here. And the Most High clearly say, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And that's what you see going on. And that proud shit going out the window. A lot of people have been being extra humble lately. Let me see what else I want to go at. I'm gonna read 12 and 13 again. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir, because there's gonna be so much wickedness going on and so much destruction. A solid man, that ain't none of that stuff gonna come upon. It's gonna be cool. They're gonna be looked at like a beacon of light amongst the darkness. Now, verse 13, it says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And you see that going on right now. There's been earthquake after earthquake, big ones too, and they're just going to get even bigger as the year progresses. Now, what the men really see, it's not about bashing the women or nothing like that. It's just about still being order, righteousness, having peace. Because when you got disorder, you can't have no peace. I'm going to just end this off with this precept. Let me get it real quick. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 21. I'm sorry, verse 2. It says, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God as with men. And he said, with no goddesses. And he said, with no queens, or none of that. He said, it's with men. It says, and he will dwell with them. They shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be them, and be their power. And God shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And this ain't happened yet. So the Amalekites just over there calling themselves what they call themselves. I ain't gonna say it because you know how Esau has his algorithms on these videos. They're calling themselves what they call themselves. That's not them. Because if it was, there won't be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, and no more pain. But that stuff's still going on. So, I just want to bring this up. When this is edifying, I can go to the link for this video. I'm sure y'all want to look at it too. Call Yahweh Shem Shah and Shalom to the Lord.